Donald O'Connor. Ease built by work. The hidden cost behind that smile, and the partner who kept it light through 3 turning points: Vaudeville roots, 1952's Singin' in the Rain, and late returns. MGM, 1952. Make 'em laugh turns discipline into delight. Vaudeville roots. In the late 1920s and 1930s, Donald O'Connor put childhood and health on the line, growing up inside a touring family where stages changed nightly from Midwestern tents to Chicago halls. The question was simple: could a child withstand the road, the rehearsals, and the expectation of laughs without a safety net? Vaudeville gave him practice every evening and taught him to land a punchline on the beat. Yet there was no gentle studio classroom, only trunks, cues, and quick changes. So, which builds a performer faster, the mirror bar or a live crowd that hears every mistimed breath? Backstage, people said the boy could sit a joke like a seasoned comic and keep time like a drummer, and that early bank of minutes became the seed of stamina he would spend for decades. By the late 1930s, the road led to Universal Pictures, where every mistake is printed and everyone can see it. Universal Pictures, a studio education. By the late 1930s and through the 1940s, he staked type and trust. Universal Pictures offered credits, posters, and partners like Peggy Ryan, but demanded a reliable screen rhythm. The question was simple: could a stage kid become a bankable film lead without losing the spark that made him quick? Bit parts grew into frontline musical pairings under the studio banner. Yet the same good soldier quality can harden into a tidy label. So where's the line between a poster-friendly face and a living presence in the frame? To purists, smoothness equals success, but it was his live wire timing and instinct for partners that let him step above the safe minimum of the studio system. All paths were narrowing toward 1952. MGM and Singin' in the Rain would become his moment of truth. MGM and Singin' in the Rain. In 1952, he put body and name on the line at MGM. Singin' in the Rain promised glory, and Make 'em Laugh demanded everything beside Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds. The question was simple: where's the limit between the audience's laughter and a performer's endurance? A carefully built cascade of comic acrobatics became his calling card. Yet weightlessness on screen sprang from painstaking precision, not luck. So what does the eye really see, ease or labor hidden beneath a smile? On stage, it looked playful, but discipline made the number breathe, and that is why it still works decades later. Applause arrived quickly, and with it a sticky label the public loves to keep. Francis the Talking Mule, and the price of a label. In the early 1950s, he staked reputation and freedom of choice on a hit series at Universal International. Francis the Talking Mule filled theaters and mailbags, but fixed Peter Sterling to his face. The question was simple: can range survive when the mule walks into the frame before the man does? The franchise strengthened his name on family bills nationwide, yet each new picture risked being read through Francis as if it were the only card in his hand. So does a sure thing carry you or chain you? Fans heard warm comedy, critics argued about the toll of success, and O'Connor kept his shape, waiting for a turn where live words and a closer gaze would matter more than a tagline. To breathe freely again, he would turn toward television and the rooms where you can hear the audience. Television and stage. The Donald O'Connor Show, NBC, Las Vegas. In the mid-1950s, he bet on versatility and trust. The Donald O'Connor Show on NBC and high-energy nights in Las Vegas demanded not just dance, but conversation close enough to feel the breath. The question was simple: could he sustain a weekly rhythm and a lens that doesn't forgive? Viewers recognized the same man they loved in movies, yet now the power wasn't a flip or a fall, but a tone, a glance, a beat, shared with a guest across the desk. So, what matters more? The glow of a big screen or the closeness broadcast can grant? For radio and TV, he proved a rare kind of guest host, keeping pace, sharing light, and giving partners room to shine. The strongest proof of respect for a partner was still ahead: Debbie Reynolds, and a shared kind of ease. Debbie Reynolds, respect and balance. From 1952 onward, he put trust and balance on the line beside Debbie Reynolds, who started without formal dance training and refused to be spared. The question was simple. Could she hold the tempo, and could he share the light fairly? Singin' in the Rain became her accelerated university, passed without retreat. Yet without his sense of scene and generosity, the magic would have felt stitched instead of seamless. So what counts more? Technique gathered over years or character that learns until it changes shape? Backstage, people remembered mutual regard. Two performers building the same frame, neither stealing it, which is why their screen warmth outlived opening nights. Time would ask for payment. He would have to come back carefully after health setbacks. Returns and late pages surgery, Out to Sea, a California clinic. In 1990, he staked the continuation of his craft after a major heart operation in a California clinic, and in 1999 pneumonia tested him again. The question was simple: is a return possible without the old amplitude and the old air? He chose work that fit Out to Sea in 1997 with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, and evenings where a steady voice beat a risky leap. Yet the body that once laughed through walls now needed days measured with care. So is a comeback a road back to height, or a different road with the same heart? On stage, he valued address over dazzle, and rooms answered warmly, proof that presence can be upright even when the legs must stay level. The final stop would be among his own, where the business keeps faith with its people. Final chapter, and an industry home, motion picture and television country house, and hospital. In 2003, he entrusted his legacy to a house built by the industry itself, the motion picture and television country house and hospital in the San Fernando Valley. The question was simple. What remains when bright nights dim, numbers, posters, or the way a person handled other people's time? The path from vaudeville troupes to MGM, Universal, and NBC reads as one line. Yet the true measure isn't a marquee's width, but a steady habit of work and gratitude. So how do you weigh a life like this? By the canon everyone quotes, or by the quiet loyalty behind it? To purists, the canon and the set pieces matter most. To many who knew, the manner of doing the job weighs the heaviest. Silence still carries his name. Say the title of a song, and you can hear his laugh. His weightlessness wasn't a trick or a miracle. It was a language of work and regard for the stage that raised him, for partners who met him halfway, for audiences who came to feel better than they arrived. Singin' in the Rain, Make 'Em Laugh, the Francis the Talking Mule Run, the Donald O'Connor Show, Out to Sea, and that quiet address in the valley are points on one clean line. Names and years remain, but what lasts is the rule he lived by. Keep the timing honest, share the frame, and let ease be the result, not the plan. When those titles pass our lips, we don't just recall sight gags and taps, we remember a working ethic that never shouted about itself and never dropped the beat. And that is why Donald O'Connor still feels present whenever the music starts.